For today's recipe, we are looking back 60 years. We have got the Benito United Church Evening Women's Association cookbook from Benito, Manitoba. I had to Google where that was. It was my grandmother's cookbook. All growing up, it was my mother's cookbook, and now it is mine. We had a big discussion in my family about birthday cakes and favorite birthday cakes just the other day, and it brought to mind for me this book. Growing up, I can remember making what is called a wacky cake. This is so well loved, this cookbook, that the pages have come out. The wacky cake page is out. Must be very careful with it. It's obviously an old church cookbook that all of the women put their best recipes into. Their names even are so old-fashioned. On the members of the Women's Association, we've got a Bessie, a Gladys, a Rose, a Betsy, a Millie, an Olive, a Nellie. Fantastic memories with this. I'm going to treat it very gently. I'm going to make a wacky cake. It is eggless and it is easy. I recall making this when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. I made it so often back then that I knew the recipe off by heart. So easy. You don't even dirty a pan. You do it all in the baking dish. So let's start with 1.5 cups of flour. Put it right into the baking dish. 1 cup of sugar. 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. We have a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of salt. We'll just stir that up right in the pan that we are going to bake it in. This also makes fantastic cupcakes. Once you have everything mixed up nicely, we are going to put 3 little wells in there. In one well, we'll put the melted butter, 3 tablespoons of melted butter. In another, we will put a teaspoon of vanilla. In the third, we will put a tablespoon of vinegar, and over it all, 1 cup of cold water. That's it. Mix it up well. Ready to go into the oven for 30 minutes at 375. And you can lick the spoon because there's no eggs. Having a little look at this cookbook of the people that would submit these recipes, we've got Mrs. William Findlay, we have Mrs. Harvey Waterman, Mrs. Joe Clark. It's funny that we used to take our husband's name when we became Mrs. We'll see you in 30 minutes when the cake is done. This cake is a fantastic alternative to boxed cake because it's got no preservatives, just the ingredients that you make at home, and it's super easy and no mess. Just as easy as making it from a box, but you've made it from scratch. You've made it with love. It's called a wacky cake. It's eggless, so fantastic if you have any egg allergy issues. And like I said, you can lick the spoon. There's no eggs in it. We'll see you in 30 minutes when it is finished. And there we have the wacky cake, the chocolate cake from the 60-year-old cookbook, church cookbook. Take a little icing sugar and sprinkle it on top. A quick, easy alternative to making icing. Let's taste it. It easily comes out, and there you have it. Beautiful chocolate cake. tastes great.